Hi everyone, welcome to our presentation. I am Melina Sosa, I go by Mel. This is my co-presenter, Lily Goldman, and we're doing this in person. Today we're going to be walking you through the ART card assessment, which is a fantastic and a less structured projective tool to use in your early sessions with clients. Okay, so what is the ART card assessment? Essentially, the client is going to be asked to sort through a deck of pre-made art cards. And this could be a Dixit deck, which we're going to be using, or it could just be a set of curated cards that you as the therapist puts together. Essentially, you're going to ask your client to pick an image that is going to reflect a little bit about how they're feeling or something that just sparks their interest as they're going through the cards themselves. The assessment is anchored in the Expressive Therapies Continuum, also known as the ETC, which we'll touch on shortly. But what I really love about this tool is it's a concept from Edith Kramer, the idea being that the process of self-discovery through art is the actual therapy itself, meaning the assessment itself is an intervention.
Absolutely, and I just wanted to add one little thing. Sure, you mind going back?
Yeah.
We have a couple quotes here, the Edith Kramer one, and then something that we got excited about in working on this together is Mel's from Expressive Arts program, I'm from the ICP program, and I'm doing Gestalt therapy, and so this is it's kind of a marriage of our two orientations, and so I also added this quote, we don't see things as they are, we see things as we are, which is a little bit about Gestalt projection, which is really similar, and they're kind of very compatible in this exercise.
That's why we loved it.
Yep, exactly.
Awesome.
Okay. Okay, thanks, Melina.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the therapeutic purpose for this. As Mel mentioned, this is both an assessment and an intervention. So from a cognitive and interpersonal perspective, this is an opportunity to understand the client. How do they organize thought? How do they reflect on their inner experience? How do they make meaning? In terms of their emotional expression, what's the range and the depth that they can experience? How do they regulate? How do they manage what comes up to the surface? And how do they respond to what they hear themselves say as they're going through the reflection? From an intimacy perspective, are they able to make it personal and engaged, or are they a bit more withdrawn? Okay, then we're ready for next. In terms of age range, we were both really inspired to explore work with adolescents. Is it okay if I share?
Yeah.
Mel mentioned that's her target kind of
Population, for lack of a better word.
Yeah,
but yeah.
And I'm currently in practicum, and I'm working with one 18-year-old girl who I find like pretty challenging, and just noticed the difference between working with her and working with my adult clients. So we wanted to focus on adolescents, and just to note that they're, like a lot of the exercises our classmates have done, there's a lot of, customization about what you ask and how you conduct this depending on the emotional maturity and developmental level of the person you're working with. But it's not appropriate for folks with visual impairment. Unfortunately, it just requires that visual engagement. And it also requires enough verbal or abstract capacity to reflect on symbolic content. A quick other additional note is that it's important to avoid any violent or triggering imagery in the deck unless you're prepared from a clinical capacity to work with that. Of course, depends on the age range as well. But the card deck should be you should know what's in there and what you might be inviting from the adolescent associations.
Absolutely. I'll talk a little bit about just what the supplies are that you would need in order to conduct this assessment. It's pretty simple. You do need some sort of a deck of cards. As we said, we're going to be using Dixit cards in our demonstration, which are pretty easily and readily available if you're just at an art store or even a toy store. And these came from a board game, which is the Dixit board game. You could also curate your own set of cards if you, say, perhaps just are collecting postcards. That's a great way of just putting together a set that have different images on it or different prints on it. But as Lily said, we want to make sure that any of those images are avoiding violent imagery and, if possible, reflect as much of a diverse and cultural representation possible. Another note is we're in a world where telehealth is very much a medium in which we're going to be working with clients, and so there are some digital options available, including a Dixit card deck that the link is here within our deck. There's also a link to the creative site art cards, which is another option, and if you're working with much younger children, there are some projective cards that you could also get through that link. Aside from the art cards themselves, though, have a table like we're sitting at here, someplace where you can spread out the cards. Nice to be able to work with them in a face-up fashion so that the client and the therapist, or the therapist and the client, could be looking at the same images together if possible. Definitely think about shuffling them or creating some sort of a blind draw that brings a little bit of interesting fun to it, I would say. And if you're utilizing that telehealth option, you will need a computer and some Wi-Fi in order to access the card decks. These are probably pretty easy things they should be obvious, but we're stating them anyway. One thing I would also say, particularly in a telehealth setting, is make sure that your client is in some sort of a comfortable, safe, private space. Something that they're not going to be interrupted so that you do have the opportunity to really do the work that you're hoping to. And then as a therapist, I would also keep a paper and pen handy, but that's completely optional. That's really just for you to maybe jot down the things that you're observing throughout the exercise itself. And that's pretty much it on the supplies needed. But let's talk a little bit about what the actual procedure would look like. I also think this is quite simple. There are really 4 steps that you're going to want to go through. The setup, which we've kind of talked about, making sure that you've got the space you want to work in, having your cards ready, thinking about shuffling them maybe even ahead of time is another way of just getting yourself prepared for the exercise itself. Step 2 would really about just be inviting instinctual choice. So what I think we mean by that is asking the client and not giving them too much information up front, but being able to prepare them that they should know they're going to be asked to sort through these cards and what they should be looking for. What they're looking for is a reaction, something hopefully somatic, something that sparks their interest, maybe is a connection to something they might be feeling throughout the day, and really make sure that you're encouraging them to not overthink that process, like really go through the instinctual aspects of it. When they do that, though, step 3 is about exploring that card. And we have a few prompts that we're going to talk through in a moment, but you could really come up with as many or as few prompts as you want and make them your own. The idea is to really get your client to explore the meaning behind the card that they've chosen and why. And hopefully that is going to get the right conversation started. But the last step is really about following the energy, right? If the card feels generative, great, keep going with it, keep exploring it. If it feels like you're kind of done now, then return it to the deck and maybe find a second card. So this procedure should be really, really simple to follow. And as we said at the very beginning, it's meant to be less constructive. So go with that motion throughout.
So here's some reflection prompts, and you'll see how we kind of, as Mo was just describing, follow the intuitive process together in our demonstration coming up. But some that you might want to use as a starting point are, can you tell me about why you chose this card? Are there any feelings, thoughts, sensations, or reactions present with you as you reflect on the card? You can also draw from the Freeman Drawing and Fantasy article that we all read and ask the client to embody a part of the card. You all might remember in the reading, she's like, well, actually, that's a different reading, I'm thinking. There's so many amazing ways
to bring it all in.
Yeah, so, but you can invite the client to say, be a part of the image and speak from that using I statements. So that's number 6 here. Number 5 and 6 is pick something, imagine that you are in, and say, I am from it. Tell a story about the card. What are you seeing in this image? And then if ideally the client can tolerate it, is reflecting on what are some themes, what have they heard themselves say, and how does it connect to their own life. And that's where being a little distanced from the kind of processing that's happening at first is really helpful, and then connecting it to the actual client's life and what they might be really struggling with, or what have you, can also be a nice connection. Why it works. So, as Mel mentioned, from the expressive therapies continuum, this activity skips the physical drawing process. So a lot of the activities we've been seeing our amazing peers do and facilitate have to do with a creative expression like drawing or making, which is awesome. But for some folks, that element can make them feel inadequate, defensive, paralyzed, and perfectionism. And so because this activity skips over that kinesthetic sensory level, it's very accessible, and it allows folks to just jump straight into the cognitive symbolic levels of meaning making, that perceptual level, and that can be a really nice avenue for some teenagers, especially those who might be in the developmental stage where they have a lot of swirling, conflicting thoughts, hyper self-awareness. Getting some distance from the phenomena can help them actually access what's really going on. Lastly, because this is a low complexity task, it can be quite regulating. Folks can keep their eyes down, and we can be looking at the image together instead of engaging in a direct one-on-one way. So for clients who don't want that pressure, intimacy, eye contact, this can be a really nice entry point.
This is just to throw out there a few references, drawing heavily on the work of Luzabrink and Rubin regarding the expressive therapies continuum and individual art evaluations. Feel free to dig in if that's of interest to you. And then lastly, we are going to go and try this out.
So I thought that we could play a game today, and it's all about seeing how you feel based on what some imagery on cards brings up for you. And I'm wondering if I could pass you this deck of cards. There's all kinds of imagery on here. And then you can put some cards out and see if a card calls to you. If you have like a reaction that you notice, then we can explore it from there. How's that sound?
Okay. Okay. Do you have to like shuffle them or anything?
If you want.
Like that kind of maybe?
Yeah, I love that.
And I just,
Yeah, so you could try just taking the first card and put it out.
okay. Cute little ladybug. It's a ladybug.
So you can keep going, and if you notice a card that really stands out to you or you feel something about it, then we can pause there and explore it.
There's something about that card.
That one? Okay,
Yeah.
let's go for that one. What do you notice about this card?
Well, I liked the girl just sort of sitting on the edge by herself.
Yeah. Do you have any stories that you could tell about the card or the girl? What's going on?
I don't know if there's a story, but she's alone. I don't know, kind of like that.
Do you like that?
Yeah. I like that the house is empty and she's alone.
What do you notice about any feelings that you have while you look at the card?
There's a little bit of an alone feeling.
An alone feeling.
Yeah. It's quiet. I get the sense that she likes that.
I wonder if you'd want to try picking something you see on the card and try speaking as that. It could be the girl, could be a door, could be a table, anything. Could be, do you want to hear an example?
Sure.
Okay, so I could say, I'm going to pick that window.
Okay.
And I could say, I'm a little window. I'm on the top. and I look over everyone. Do you want to try?
Sure. Mm, I'm the girl. And I'm kind of sitting right on the edge, wondering how hard it might be to jump from here. I don't know if I'd get hurt or if it might just be fun. I kind of want to try it.
You kind of want to try.
I do. Kind of want to try it if I were that girl. There's nothing on the other side of the house. It's like hollow. And it might be fun to jump down and come back up those stairs again and do it over and over. I don't know if I'm saying that, but maybe I'm thinking that. Yeah, I think I'm thinking that.
Thanks for trying that. Do you notice any feelings or thoughts come up as you spoke from the girl?
It's scary.
A little scary.
Yeah.
Do you relate to her at all?
I relate to the wanting the house to be quiet and being alone in the house with no one else to hear or bother me. I just can be by myself.
Does that remind you of what's going on in real life?
Yeah, I'm just never alone. It's always a lot of noise and always being told to do something. And sometimes I just wish it was quiet and I could sit like that. No one else was there. I could just think. She looks like she's thinking as she's dangling her legs off the edge.
Yeah, she has a little bit of fear, a little bit of loneliness, a little bit of enjoyment and that peace and quiet and some playfulness with the games that she wants to play. Does that sound right, hearing that?
I think so. Definitely the beginning part. I'm trying to think about the playfulness. I don't know. I don't know that it felt like I would be. It doesn't feel like a game, I guess. When I think playing, like I was thinking of a game or playing with someone else, and I'm alone there. So am I just playing a game by myself? Although the desire to jump down and then run up the stairs again and do it again, I suppose, is game.
Can playing happen alone?
Yeah, I think in the example I just gave, it could.
Yeah, maybe sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, that could be fun, playing by myself sometimes. As long as no one else is home to yell at me about playing by myself.
Yeah. Is there anything else on the card that stands out to you? Or do you want to try a different card?
Well, I think I saw, the other thing that stood out to me was the ladder. It's like a ladder here that looks like it's going up to this, I don't know, attic window maybe? And then I was just thinking what it would be like to sit on the edge of that one. It's higher, maybe more scary, but also more fun. Yeah. I can try another card.
Okay.
Yeah? Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Cool cards. Oh, that one scares me.
It scares
I got a
you.
scary feeling just because all these cracks on the bottom. It was like this pretty flower is gonna die. Like the petals are flying away. Yeah, that was I got a quick reaction.
Yeah, I noticed you pointed to your chest there. Is
Yeah,
that where you
'cause it
felt the
scared me.
scaring feeling?
Yeah, I was like, oh, what's gonna happen to it?
Yeah.
Feels like it's gonna die.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost feels like it's being pulled down by this, I don't know if it's, I don't know what to call it. It's not a leaf, but I don't know what to call it, but it's like its stem has split and it's coming around and it's bigger and it's gonna pull it down and kill it. And that feels scary.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the flower.
You feel bad for the flower.
Mhm.
Yeah. Do you want to speak from the flower?
She's like, don't kill me. Don't kill me. I swear I could be good. I swear I could be pretty. That's kind of what it feels like it's saying.
She has a lot of pressure to be good and pretty.
Yeah. And it's like this thing doesn't care. It's going to take her down no matter what and pull her petals out one by one. Yeah, poor flower. That makes me feel sad.
Yeah, that makes me feel sad too. Does that remind you of anything happening in your life?
I think sometimes there's pressure. It doesn't feel like I'm going to die, but maybe like the pressure feels like sometimes choking. Because, yeah, I guess I want to be good. Not necessarily pretty, but in the flower's case, it would be pretty. And I just want to be good so that it doesn't feel like I'm choking.
How do you feel in this moment?
Like I'm choking.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't feel good to talk about that.
Okay. Is there something you might try to say to comfort the flower?
I wish I could tell it to wriggle out. Can you make your petals sort of wriggle out of the grasp of this green thing that's coming after you? Like wriggle out of it and make yourself almost like fight back.
Fight back.
Yeah. That's what I want to tell the flower. Like, don't just let it take you. Don't let it kill you, fight back.
How do you feel when you say that?
Actually, I feel, I don't know, it's like inspiring.
Inspiring.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Yeah.
empowering.
Like fire. Yeah, empowering. That's a good word. Yeah, it makes you feel stronger. Like, if you think you can fight back, then maybe you can. Like, if you think it, maybe you can do it. Yeah, that feels more powerful.
Do you notice anything else about this card, or do you want to try one more?
But the only other thing I noticed was like the shadow, and the shadow of this larger stalk kind of becomes the whole thing in the background. At least that's the way I see it. And I was wondering if this stalk is able to bring the flower down. Does it just like get engulfed into all that blackness back there? But that was it. That was just a thought. I'm happy to try another one.
Okay. Thanks for sharing with me.
Thank you. Evan's cute.
That was cute.
Yeah. I just like it.
Yeah.
This
What do you
girl.
like about
Well, I like that she's playing music, but it's herself. And I don't know, it made me think of like having like a chubby stomach and making it do fun things. And in this case, she's making music and these little kids are having fun with the music. She's making them happy and that makes her happy because it's like they're playing together. and she's doing that with her body.
Do you notice any sensations in your body as you think about that?
I was wondering if I had a chubby belly.
It's a little silly.
It was a little silly, yeah. Yeah, I think sometimes. I think I have a chubby belly. And that maybe I should just make music on it. But yeah, I don't know, but that one feels nice. That feels happy, and it's like these strings are coming up and almost making a little necklace for her, and she just seems happy. She seems like she's enjoying what she's doing, and she has her eyes closed as she plays this music, and her hair is kind of like blowing behind her, and again, these kids are having fun with this music that's coming out of whatever she's making, and it made me feel happy.
This might seem silly, but I'm curious if you would want to try speaking from the musical instrument or from one of the kids or from anything on the card.
I think if I were the instrument, I would probably want to say, don't ignore me. Don't leave me in the corner to just get dust. Look what I could do. If you look what I can do if you just play with me. I can make everybody happy. And I think the instrument's happy too. I don't know, everybody looks like they have little smiles all over the place. But yeah, I think the instrument would say, see what I can do? Don't ignore me and leave me.
Do you sometimes feel like that?
Yeah, I think everybody maybe feels like that sometimes. I don't know that I get ignored, but I sometimes wish people could see what I could do. Although I don't know what I could do. I think I could do something. But yeah, I don't know, maybe I just would like to be paid attention to.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing with me today. How was this for you?
It's cool.
Do you think you might like to try it again next time?
Yeah, I would do this more. That's cool.
Okay. Thanks, Mel.
Thank you.
I'll see you next time.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.